Hello, my name is Katelyn and I am the wine director here at Purple Cafe in Woodinville, and we have put together a couple little tasting duos, and the theme that I kind of focused around was a sense of place, a region. While we're all kind of stuck at home together, it's really nice to be able to kind of experience a semblance of other cultures, other regions, and for me personally, I think wine is such a fundamental part of that, and it's just a fun way to be able to enjoy a sense of place. So I'm going to kind of briefly touch on the regions that I selected and a couple of these wines for the duos. So we're going to start in Spain, because who doesn't really want to be in Spain when we can safely be so. So I picked two wines today, and even though the focus is regionally based, Spain being the overarching category, I picked two different sub-appellations. So we are going to start with the Gota de Arena. This is Tempranillo, because you would be amiss to talk about Spain without mentioning the king of their varietals, Tempranillo. So Gota de Arena, this comes from the Gil family estate of wines, which conveniently actually both of these do. They are a really historic property that started in the region of Jumilla, which we will touch base on with this, and then over past handful of decades, they've been able to expand throughout the country. So this comes from Castilla y León, which is a little bit more central Spain, and this is 100% Tempranillo. It is the goal of Bodegas One Hill to become completely sustainable, so this is made from all organic grapes, and then they are actually working actively at making all of their wines, which is about 13 wines from 10 different wineries throughout the country, completely off of the grid. So good for the earth is always an exciting tidbit as well. So this is the Gota de Arena. Just a couple tasting notes on there. I think that this is a really great blend of that kind of fruit and earth divide. In this instance, a really great partnership. So on the nose, I get tons of aromatics of these bright red fruits. There's just savory kind of dried roses. And then when you actually put this on your palate, you're going to get kind of the more earth-driven flavors. You're going to get tons of smoked meats and this kind of dried leaf characteristic. It's pretty juicy. This is an amazing food wine. So you can pair this with an array of things. I love, if you kind of take the classic, my little cheat sheet for if you're ever nervous about pairing food and wine together is if it grows together, it goes together. So think about what the Spanish would eat. All this different tapas, but for me, the cheese and meat plate goes really well with this. This also pairs deliciously with our braised pork shake that we have on the menu right now. So good, really, really good acidity. And so this comes from the Castilla and León, which is a little bit more central Spain. So really hot, dry, arid climate, which really kind of thrives for these varietals. And then we are now going to travel safely down to the southwest corner of Spain to Jumilla. And this is from Bodegas One Hill. And this is 100% Monastrell. This is actually the same variety that more people are familiar with, called Mourvèdre or Mourvèdre, depending on how you choose to pronounce it. And this is 100% Monastrell. This is also 100% Tempranillo, which is always great when they're not blending in tons of other varieties. So this comes from the very first winery that the Hill family established down in Jumilla, and focused 100% on that Monastrell grape, which is native to Spain. And then this is actually 100% organic grapes as well. So they're super sustainable, which is also a great thing, all biodynamic farming. They ferment this in stainless steel, and then they age it for about a year in a combination of French and American oak. So you're gonna get a little bit of that kind of toasted baking spice in there. This is, to me, like classic Spanish Monastrell, and this is a grape that more so often than not you're going to find it mixed into a blend. And so it's really great when you get to highlight it on its own. You're going to get this really dark inky purple color, which is characteristic of this grape. This is definitely a juicy, dense, supple wine. You're going to get really soft, juicy tannins, tons of like really ripe raspberries. Again, really great with food. You know, I like this with a little bit more richness to my dishes. Anything kind of like poultry based with like a little richer sauce, like rice dishes are really, really great with this, particularly on our menu. Goes great with our bacon wrapped meatloaf, or also the steak frites would be great with this. So I hope you enjoy these little Spanish wines, as they say in Spain. Salud!